On April the 24th of 2006, the FAA told Sunroad that they could not put the building up at 180, that it was a presumed hazard. On June the 19th, city officials were, although they had learned earlier, documented in detail the FAA's concerns. On June the 20th, Sunroad told the FAA that they would only go to 160. On June 22nd, they filed with the FAA a document saying that they would only go to 160. On July 7th, for some inexplicable reason, Development Services issued a permit saying 180. Now, Development Services didn't have the authority to waive the requirements of the FAA. They didn't have that authority. So why they would have issued a 180 building permit and why they wouldn't have insisted that Sunroad come back and ask for the 160 is beyond me. We also sent a letter over to Mr. Waring, Jim Waring, who was the mayor's choice for basically running Development Services and other departments, and said he had to issue a stop work order. And he did, after we gave him the legal advice to do so. And that was on October the 27th, about a week after I had sent him a letter. After that time, he met, without the city attorney involved, with members of the mayor's staff in this period of time. And right now I'm trying to find out if the mayor sat in on these meetings. But there were meetings behind the city attorney's back. And remember, I'm the city attorney who has the obligation and the right to represent the city in all litigation. So it's improper for a city official, without the city attorney present, to have discussions about settling cases or changing the city's legal position. And Mr. Waring met in secret with the Sunroad individuals and agreed to allow them to circumvent the stop work order, in spite of the FAA having determined that it was improper, and the mayor knew about it. And this wasn't an accident. This was an intentional, knowing violation of the stop work order and of the FAA order determination of obstruction. This was against the public interest. This was against the safety interests. And this was being done by someone who was a campaign contributor to the mayor. Not just $3,600, but had a major fundraiser for the mayor. Now, that's the kind of thing that the mayor said he would never do. And for months, I advised the mayor and asked the mayor, please enforce the stop work order, and he did not do it. Instead, there were secret meetings with the Sunroad officials and Mr. Waring, and secret communications back and forth over that many-month period of time. And I now have the documents to show that. And I'm extremely disappointed, because I only learned about that today. Only today. And I have to say that I have to say that this has been one of the most disappointing experiences for me, to learn that the mayor was allowing backroom wheeling and dealing with people with regard to this issue. Now, while these secret meetings were taking place, the city attorney's office had arranged in another case to get a search warrant, not related to the building itself, but related to an allegation that there was misuse of influence. The man that works for the mayor, the chief of police, the day that I told the chief, his office, about the search warrant, the chief told the mayor. That was on Wednesday. The Union Tribune has failed repeatedly to report the truth with regard to those events. And as late as this last week reported that that took place on Thursday. The mayor was told on Wednesday. On Thursday, the existence of the search warrant was leaked to the Union Tribune. It was published in the newspaper. The other side was put on notice. That was on Friday morning. On Saturday, the chief of police leaked that he wasn't willing to serve the search warrant to the Union Tribune, to Bob Kittle. That was in the newspaper on Saturday. And then on Sunday, there was a follow-up newspaper story in which the chief of police said he was not willing to serve the search warrant. Now, that building remains up, and the mayor has, instead of saying that it should come down to the proper limit, the mayor has mailed a letter essentially on behalf of Sunroad asking that in spite of the wrongdoing, that that building be allowed to remain where it is, in violation of the safety heights that has been established by the FAA. Why? Why is the mayor acting as an advocate for the people that intentionally and knowingly put that building up above what the limits were? To me, accepting responsibility means that Mr. Waring should be fired immediately. He allowed a building to go up and should not have gone up. The head of development services should be fired immediately for the same exact reason. And this idea that somehow there has to be an investigation, well, we now know the mayor's office is well aware of what happened because you know why? They participated in it. They participated in the secret meetings. They knew the whole time what was taking place. So my report tonight on Sunroad is one that's very disturbing. It doesn't mean that it can't be turned around. It doesn't mean that justice can't be done, and it doesn't mean that Mayor Sanders can't reform his administration. But he has to stop with the making of excuses. He has to stop with the idea of accepting responsibility, but at least from a public relations point of view, but not accepting responsibility in any meaningful way. If Mayor Sanders is serious, he will make sure that the people that did this wrong are not in their positions of responsibility. He doesn't have to have a 5 or 6 week investigation to do that. He already knows what happened. That's the best way to take responsibility. And with that, he should tell the Sunroad people in no uncertain terms, take down that building to the legal height. Mayor Sanders, so long as that building is at 180, and so long as he continues to make excuses for the people that have put that building where it is, he can never argue that he is a reform mayor, and his criticisms of past administrations for their indiscretions registers hollow.